am I right that Tom Brady
Yeah, take my time.
Tom Brady
Marinate
is
on this
the
one.
greatest athlete of this era, superior to LeBron James?
You're right in putting him in that world, in that realm of he is one of the greatest of this era. But you're wrong if you say and crown him as the king of this era when the king is still out there and balling at the level he is. Let's stay on the field. Let's stay on the court. Tom Brady, greatness. But the way that LeBron became great wasn't tied to the greatest coach of all time. The way that LeBron became great wasn't tied to him being a part of a system. And the way that LeBron became great distanced himself from even the number 2 of his generation on the court versus a Tom Brady who still has his skeptics that say, is he even the greatest quarterback of this generation when I hear a Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers' name come to the conversation? So if you look at it on the court, on the field, the gap between LeBron and number 2 and Brady and number 2 is far greater with LeBron. But let's go one level deeper off the court, off the field. LeBron's brand. It's amazing that you made this mistake of confusing a smaller brand as being more laser focused. And that's what Tom Brady looks like to you in perception. He's more focused. He does have TB12. Don't forget about TB12. It's a smaller brand compared to the King, who's coming out with his 16th edition with a lifetime contract with Nike. A smaller brand doesn't mean you're more focused on football. It means that you are not as great and as grand as the other guy who's been doing this, as well as his greatness on the court. So for me, LeBron trumps Tom Brady.
Dahntay, before you go, I just want to. I don't want to let you go. Look, the man's got 5 titles in the hardest sport to play. He plays the hardest position in sports. The distance between him and Peyton Manning just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time Brady lines up to play, as it did last night. So the distance between Brady and all of his contemporaries, including Drew Brees, any of them, Aaron Rodgers, 5 titles. Aaron Rodgers has 1. And then the other, that partnering with the coach, that is one of LeBron's weaknesses and one of Tom Brady's strengths. He don't even like Bill Belichick, but he's still making it work. That's what makes him even greater. Dahntay, I know you want to jump in.
The 2 greats on your Mount Rushmore did it the same way LeBron James is doing. They set the tone. Michael Jordan set the tone for the way LeBron James is doing it now. You know, like Michael Jordan is associated with Nike. He created a brand of shoes that has outlived his career, which you are supposed to do as an athlete. When I came into the game of basketball, athletes had a little short amount of time on the field or in the gym. But off the court, we did a lot of things that were not productive. We spent a lot of time in clubs. We spent a lot of money in a strip club. We did all those things, and the conversation was, but not at the rate, at a ridiculous rate that they were doing it back then. However, the whole conversation was, why are so many black athletes going broke? Because we were not using our capital and our money in ways that could outlive our careers. So right now, when the NBA put into us that you are a corporation, you're not just an athlete. The NBA taught us this, that you can use these things and create things rather than just use that time to do things that are meaningless. So we demonize a guy who took his crew and rather than just paying them money.
Demonize is way too.
Well, the media demonizes that group.
No, they don't.
Instead, because they put them in internships, taught them, and we use them to better my career rather than just take. That is the model that you should use for your friends. Rather than just give them and enable them, you give them positions, you teach them how to do things, and then they spread out and they make your brand bigger.
To your point, Phil Jackson called him a posse. But
time out.
That
but
is
TB12
is not a part of the media and calling him a posse. Come on, man.
TB12 is a brand.
You know how we talk.
We? Is Phil we? I'm just saying.
I'm just going to say anything that we think is appropriate, trust me, that legalizes everybody else. I don't care whether we can be as hypocritical as we want to be. But anyway,
lastly, Jordan had Space Jam. You forget about that.
Let's
forget about that. He had Space Jam. He had Hanes underwear. Yeah. Oh, but we forget about all that. It's cool because he was a brand too. However, TB12 is a brand, food and training. And then how did we get that footage?
Athletic greatness. That is completely centered on athletic greatness.
How did we get that footage? From a Facebook show. He's filming. You know how much it takes on the film? He's filming.
He got paid around $10 million for or something like that.
He filmed footage of his life. That's how you got to learn about the man. But however, whatever your interests are as an athlete, you can do anything with it right now. You can create. And the best part about the LeBron James crew is that the fact that they are able to do positive things. LeBron is at the head, and he's never by himself. It's him and Maverick Carter or him and Rich. However, he took. Let's take Rich Paul's example. I can give my agent this money. I can just throw that 4% wherever his way. Or my friend is sitting here doing something else. Why don't you take an internship, learn about the game,
Dahntay,
and we can do this, and we can have.
I want to let Tony in, but I just want to.
I'm sorry.
I want
to. You got my feathers ruffled.
I know. I want to set the record straight. As when LeBron was getting killed by the media for Maverick and all those guys, I'm the guy that went in and wrote the piece and explained Maverick Carter and what LeBron and him doing and put a positive spin on it. No one's in a negative space about what he's doing for Maverick, Rich Paul, any of that. And that's not the conversation we're having. We're talking about the greatest athlete of this era is Tom Brady, in my opinion. All the other nice stuff that LeBron is doing, I get it.
They still debate him. I believe he is the greatest football player right now of our era.
Greatest athlete
of this era.
Of this era. Would I put him up there? Yes, I would. And I just came to this conclusion a couple days ago, actually, because I've always been like, there's no such thing as the best ever. And I say, even about myself. I mean, you might like Gronkowski, you might like Kellen Winslow, you might Ozzie Newsome, whatever it is. That's up to you to decide. But I always talk about, are you in that conversation? Then I start thinking about Tom Brady. And first of all, the whole, he's making a corporation. He should be doing that. I have no problem with that. But what separates Tom Brady from me now is his willingness to take less money. And that's something that I don't think is talked about enough. And I'm talking about during contract times. The reason they are so great out there in New England, and you look at it now, this guy, he's only making $20 million this year. And he had to go ask for a raise this offseason. Yeah. He is so committed to winning that he will take less money. Aaron Rodgers won't do that. Peyton Manning never did that. Never. So who wants to win more? How badly do you want to win to go in there and say, you know what, I could be making $35 million a year. Tom Brady can go and he should be getting, if Aaron Rodgers is getting 33, Tom Brady should be getting 33. I think that's fair to say. But he's making $20 million. That's it.
That's honorable, but that's not something I would suggest to any player out there to not get full value.
I think after your first contract. After your first contract, why can't, I don't mean to cut you off, but after your first contract, I always say if you're a rookie, if Jared Goff, when it comes up, you win a Super Bowl this year with the Rams, and whatever it comes time to get paid, you go get max contract. Sorry, you got to take care of yourself. But after that, I would say, I don't understand. What do you need? What's the difference between 33 or 35 or 40 by the time he comes up? Why can't you just take 28?
How come the owners don't take a haircut when they want to go in pursuit of
this is why Tom Brady's on my thing.
Who he's married to? Who's worth more than him? I can take that. When my wife is doubling what I bring in. Look, we don't need that extra 12 for us to stay here.
All I'm saying, look, I paid 17 years. I made some good money. I made some good money.
You want to turn down $12 million?
But I'm just saying, I don't know what I would do in that situation. How badly do you want to win? Do you want to surround yourself with the proper team that can get you those five rings? I think that's the extra step that most athletes won't take.
Would you have sacrificed $12 million?
Would I have done it? I don't know.
I do know. You would have taken that $12 million.
Let me tell you the other reason why he could and why there's some truth to what Tony's saying. There is money to be made post-career walking around with those 5 Super Bowl rings that may be 6, as opposed to Aaron Rodgers, who's probably going to retire with 1. There's money to be made. So Tom has made a long-term play on and off the field in terms of look at his marriage and marrying someone of that type of value. Again, all of his decisions, though, are consistent with being a dominant athlete. And that's not, again, you can do the LeBron approach, but there's a price to pay, and I think the price is going to be how you're viewed when your career is over versus your potential. LeBron could have been the greatest of all time.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation.
MJ wasn't the greatest of all time when he played.
Yeah, when he played.
He wasn't. When MJ, I grew up in the MJ era. I had kids that wanted to be Pippen. I had kids that wanted to be MJ. I wanted to be MJ, but he wasn't the greatest of all time while he was playing.
Right. You need that nostalgia.
He was not playing.
Stop.
He was not at that point in time.
Athletes. I'm a journalist. I know what we were writing and what we were saying.
And y'all destroyed him as journalists. His off-the-court antics, Atlantic City, the gambling.
No.
Why are you gambling on the golf course? I lived that too.
After Jordan won those first 3 titles, and certainly when he won the next 3, there wasn't any
crowned him?
wasn't any real controversy about him being the greatest of all time. We moved him.
After 3,
They let him have it too,
Not
which
really.
is unfair.
Oh, no.
Not
man.
really.
I don't remember it that way. I mean, maybe you got the manuscripts and what you wrote, but me just being a viewer and me being a guy trying to ascend to the pro ranks, it was not unanimous that he was the best basketball player of all time.
Who was?
There was still conversation of Magic and Bird.
Like you have Celtics fans that say
you heard a lot of people
Bird,
say Bill Russell, the old school
right.
back.
Magic
Bill
had
Russell was
5
better.
rings and he had 3. And you saying that they were saying Jordan was better than Magic?
I got it. Jordan took a couple years off. When he came back and won those next 3 during his prime. Tom Brady has 5. No one else has 5.
I'm with that.
No one. He has it. If they had won, he might get 6.
Crown him.
He's playing the most important sport, the toughest sport, and he's playing the premier position in all of sports. It's not remotely controversial that he is the greatest athlete of this era.
Don't you think Tom Brady got to the party a little later than even LeBron and other greats like him? Like TB12 starting in 2016 tells me someone finally got to it, and I heard it was people like Gronkowski.
Just realized it.
It's just like, hey, you know what? You're leaving money out there on the field and off the field by saying with this old adage that I'm first in, last out, and this is all I do. That sounds great. That's old focus. You're old school, so you think about focus like that. 1 dot on the wall, stare at it. Football, football, football. Okay, that's cute. But then coaches started to tell us, like you said, the NBA, NFL, put more dots on the wall and learn how to prioritize those dots. And LeBron's been doing that from day one, and it seems like TB12 just got there.
Just got there. How? He's got 5 titles and he's the MVP just last year. He has a chance to be an MVP. It's
greatness, not just best.
He's not focused on basketball, on football all year round.
Yeah.
He's
more focused than anybody else in sports.
In Brazil,
just hasn't realized
this. He in Brazil doing this.
I don't know if he's more focused. I'm telling. For me, the only thing that separates him from any of Peyton, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, all those guys, you can't say this guy is better than this guy. I don't believe in that. Right. But it is the cash. It is the cash. You sacrifice your paycheck to win those Super Bowls and rings. Why can't LeBron come out? LeBron's going to be a billionaire. I mean, he already is pretty much. Why can't he come out and just saying, and I'm not telling him what to do, LeBron, if he is watching this, but if I was him, I would say at this point with the money I have in my bank, give me $5 million a year. That's it. And let's go surround ourselves. Let's go beat the Golden State Warriors. Because you're not going to beat them this year with that team. Go get some players. Why can't more athletes do stuff like that?
Because I want a mutual respect from the person whose name is also on my check, the owner, to say, where's your haircut? If I'm in the barbershop, you come in with me, owner. Take a haircut. And the owners are not taking a haircut on profits.
That's the way you think. Tom doesn't think that way. Tom doesn't think that way.
I can't do it because you ruin it for the next man.
I'm going to put Marcellus in checkmate on that. Dan Gilbert and a lot of these owners, the Steve Ballmer, the Clippers, they go well above the salary cap and pay that luxury tax.
Yes.
So they do get their hair cut often in the NBA to win championships. Golden State's doing it. The Lakers will eventually have to do it. So the owners do take a haircut. Tony's question, to me, speaks to Brady's level of commitment is at a greater level than everybody else in sports. Now, I'm just sorry. Those are just the facts.